There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. It's June of 2022. At this point, I had been running Hardcore Nuzlocke challenges for about a year. I started with Renegade Platinum and worked my way up to more difficult games like Radical Red. Along the way, I kept hearing about this Emerald Kaizo game, the hardest Pokemon game ever, they said. I always knew from the beginning I'd have to eventually take on this Mount Everest of Pokemon challenges. Little did I know that I would spend the next 6 months in purgatory. Hundreds of hours, dozens of live streams, 62 attempts. This challenge became my hyperfixation. It didn't matter if I was at work, at the gym, out touching grass, out with friends. It was all I could think about. The year was almost over, and the fatigue was really starting to hit me. I was tired. Christmas was approaching, and I still hadn't won. But I couldn't walk away. I couldn't stop until I finished what I had started. This is the story of how I beat a hardcore Nuzlocke challenge of Pokemon Emerald Kaizo.
In the end, what separates a man from a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys.
Let's talk about the meta for Emerald Kaizo starter picks. Trico is far and away the undisputed best. The Gecko plays a unique fast sweeper role with reasonable IV and nature requirements to succeed. Sceptile tears through so many fights like butter, and it's often a consideration for Elite Four teams. This was my starter of choice for about 55 attempts. Torchic, on the other hand, is very IV and nature dependent. A juicer Blaziken puts in work on Flannery, who's one of the toughest fights in the game. It pops off in Magma Hideout and even beats some of the biggest threats in the Elite Four. I did try Torchic for just several attempts, but the chicken's playstyle just wasn't for me. Mudkip is the odd one out. It doesn't excel in any unique niches like the other two, and most consider it to just be Whiscash Plus. Few runners ever consider the starter, and winning runs with it are extremely rare. The raw power of Sceptile was fun, but I was growing bored of Trico runs. I wanted something fresh to get that spark back. I decided to try out Mudkip since it's my favorite Gen 3 starter, and because honestly, I just wanted to be a special snowflake. After leaving the truck and picking up my Mudkip from the bag, it's time to pick up my first 6 encounters. The initial starting pack is extremely important as it sets the tone for the run. After about 20 attempts of running everything, I got to the point where I'd just reset off bad starting pack encounters and call it a wipe. In a game this tough and long, it just isn't worth the time to play out runs that are fighting uphill from the start. I'd estimate around 35 of my attempts died to early resets within the first 10 minutes. On attempt 62, I didn't get the most cracked starting pack ever, but it was solid enough to run. Sunkern evolves into Sunflora immediately to play an amazing grass support for Mudkip runs. Sunflora can even pull off growth sweeps in a game where sweeps are almost non-existent. It can even go through the Elite Four. Growlithe is one of the best fire types, and the double crustaceans can both come with the shell armor ability. Luvdisc even brings value as an early charm support. All around solid pickups to get a run off the ground. I had the bag to Roxanne split down to a science after so many reps, and I could blow through it in about 15 minutes consistently. Before we jump into the Roxanne battle though, let's analyze her Nosepass's moveset to touch on a few key mechanics you'll want to know. Thunder Wave falls into a category of moves known as speed control. Anytime the AI is slower, it will be highly encouraged to use moves that lower your speed. This can be and will be abused by me quite often. Self-destruct and explosion have their own set of quirks. If the AI sees a kill with any other moves or if they're on their last Pokemon, they'll never blow up. Otherwise, there's a tiny chance for them to blow up on turn 1 while you're at full health. The chance to go boom increases at certain HP thresholds as they get lower and lower. You can't ever guarantee that Nosepass doesn't self-destruct turn 1, but Thunderwave being a speed control move helps keep that chance nice and low. Roxanne Calls is a classic sight in the live stream chat when an attempt is about to die. She's the first real gatekeeper in Emerald Kaizo. Roxanatory is a very real and very painful place that runners do get stuck in. After numerous attempts though, I had the recipe for the secret sauce. Roxanne leads with Nose Pass. Knowing that speed control is a thirst trap for the AI, I hard read the Thunder Wave. Krabby holding a Cherry Berry gets some safe chip damage, baiting a second Thunder Wave into Kabuto to come clean up. Anorith has nutty coverage, and this matchup is usually just pray you dodge a crit. After having many scuffed Kabutos, it felt incredible to finally have a cracked one that outspeeds and one-shots. Roxanne's Laleep is most known for Ancient Power. This move has a 10% chance to proc an Omni Boost, granting +1 to each stat. Even just one Omni Boost here is a run ender. Gloom sets up shop with Toxic to get the pivot cycle started. Now we swap into Ancient Powers with Marsh Stomp and into Giga Drains with Gloom, while Toxic whittles down Laleep. Laleep is not nice on the Omni Boost luck, and it dies slowly and painfully to the Toxic damage. The incoming Relicanth carries Yawn, which is now a 70% accurate instant sleep move. It's also packing Secret Power for paralysis chances. Big Marsh Stomp shows off some clean footwork, dodging multiple Yawns. The two trade blows until Relicanth finally hits a Yawn, but Marsh Stomp clutches up and wakes up immediately next turn to snag a kill. Relicanth, more like Relican't. Shuckle has a shiny new coat of paint with the Battle Armor ability, along with a painful set to deal with. It starts setting up curses, so I swap into Love Disc to Charm spam it and softening up the incoming rollout train. Once Love Disc is out of charms, I chip Shuckle enough to secure a kill range for Sunflora. I need to set up 3 growths to Oko the Lunatone in the back. Rollout starts ramping up to deadly levels, but Shuckle finally misses one just in time for Sunflora to set up and bring out Roxanne's final, scariest Pokemon. Lunatone's stats are a cut above the rest this early in the game. If you don't get slept, you're rolling the dice against flinches. Dodging the flinch here is just one of many more if bad thing happens, I wipe moments. Since Shuckle poisons Sunflora, Lunatone never goes for Hypnosis and will only Rock Slide. Sunflora bosses up and nails the triple growth boosted Juicer Bullet Seeds for a sure kill. This run is off to a really clean start. With the first badge in hand, I hop on Mr. Briney's little boat and sail across the sea to Dewford. There's several encounters to pick up here, but Dewford Grass is where my mind is at. There's a decent chance to pull a Mankey, and legend has it that once every full moon, one lucky runner encounters the mythical Pog Mankey. For a Mankey to be truly Pog, it must have at least 17 speed. This unlocks the ability to sweep Flannery's team later in the gym. In previous attempts, I got to experience the pure dopamine injection of hitting the Pog Mankey. This time though, I got what most consider to be possibly the worst possible encounter in Dewford. But what if, just what if this Machop was built a little different? What if this Machop was the chosen one? What if this Machop had such a powerful combo of natures and IVs that it broke the space-time continuum? It'll be a while before Machamp comes online though, so for now, let's go deal with Brawly. We're only at Gym 2 and already facing final stage Pokemon like Poliwrath and the Hitmons. Straight 1v1 matchups won't work, so there's going to be a lot of Intimidate pivoting with Gyarados. Shell Armor Pokemon like Krabby get bonus points for synergizing incredibly well with Gyarados, and your judgment will be tested when choosing the right times to greed. Brawly's Hitmontop is a beast of a lead that isn't getting soloed by anything but Guts Talo or Chimecho. Let's pivot back and forth between Gyarados and Kabuto to rack up Intimidates. Hitmontop now has a 1 in 6 chance to hit Secret Power into Paralysis. I get paralyzed immediately. This is already looking grim, but Marshtomp unleashes that dog and clutches through. Hitmonlee wants to smoke next, so I run back 3 cycles of the Gyarados pivots. Due to paralysis and rolling kick flinch chances, Marshtomp only has a 1 in 6 shot to attack each turn. Marshtomp puts in the work, just strong-arming through the odds to wear Hitmonlee down. The big guy really deserves a raise after this. Hitmonchan is the final of the big 3, and Little Bro is a pretty nice guy compared to the other Hitmons. So I set him up with my cute single friend, Love Disc. Chan gets rizzed up by the Chad Disc and has to phone a friend to tag in. The incoming stupid onion diaper monkey thing takes the whole squad to put down with Love Disc on charm support, Gyarados on pivot duty, and Krabby serving up the dessert. My fortune's been pretty impressive so far, but the old gods of Emerald Kaizo always demand tribute. I choose Love Disc as the blood sacrifice to get Voltorb in on Poliwrath. Voltorb gets off 1 shockwave before joining Love Disc in the Shadow Realm. Strategic sacrifices to gain tempo are necessary evils, and these are totally fine losses in the long run. Finally, Big Sumo enters the ring. A certain small but mighty crustacean is my answer. We give it the usual Gyarados special, but Hariyama paralyzes my Krabby. On the final turn, Krabby must power through the paralysis or I do lose. She actually hits the buzzer beater to close out my most clutch Brawly fight of all 62 attempts. Hopefully, I didn't use up all my luck, because the most devious skill check of Emerald Kaizo awaits. Next up is what I call the Volt Absorb Lottery. Watson's an impenetrable fortress without Volt Absorb, and Chinchu has a 50-50 chance to carry this ability. You get 3 tries to get a Chinchu from routes 109, 110, or 118. To add insult to injury, if you miss Volt Absorb completely, you're also just down 3 encounters. A dead run, some would say. The importance of locations you want to fish will depend on your box. Since Tentacle is another important Pokemon, I route my fishing expedition to optimize odds of hitting both Chinchu and the jellyfish. Mauville offers one of the only locations to catch an electric type to test for VA. You can also just get unlucky here and end up with a Porygon. These have no electric moves and can even just teleport away. Luckily though, I catch a Pikachu. On Route 109, I fish up a Goldeen. Heart rate starts climbing. On Route 110, I get a Tentacle. Great encounter, but heart rate still climbing. I feel those beads of sweat starting to form. Route 118 is my final shot, and I get a Chinchu. But it still has to pass the ability check. All right, Scruff, let's see if you were right, man. You called a sassy 118 Chinchu. Let's see if you got it. Nice. We got VA Chinchu, and we got Tentacle, so we officially have a run. It aces the test, giving me a cool rush of relief. We got the guy. Now I can pick up a ton of encounters, including some I delayed earlier to optimize routing. Notables included a Shelder from Route 107, a Corphish from Route 117, and a Phanpy from Verdanturf Town. With my fresh new Lantern in the arsenal, I march to Mauville to battle Gym Leader 3, Watson. The Watson fight is all about pivoting and setting up lines to squeeze as much juice as we can out of Lantern's Volt Absorb ability. Pokemon like Gyarados and Dugong that bait Thunderbolts while tanking other moves will be our batteries to keep Lantern topped off. The supporting cast needs to deal with Jolteon, Lantern, and Ampharos so Lantern can show us its star power in the final act. Keep in mind the AI doesn't know your ability until they trigger it, and this knowledge carries over even when a new Pokemon comes in. Hariyama fakes out Jolteon before pivoting through Marshtomp into Gloom. Gloom's bulk allows it to hold just enough to beat Jolteon. Watson's Lantern comes in for Ice Beam, giving me a clean pivot through Dugong into Marshtomp on Thunderbolt. Marshtomp tanks a Surf and Mudshots twice for the kill. Ampharos is the last obstacle before Lantern can really start feasting. Hariyama knocks off its leftovers and lines up to deal enough damage for Marshtomp to finish. Ampharos goes full aggro and kills Hariyama before I can execute. Now, Lantern has to go to work very early to get the necessary damage. Then, a pivot through Gyarados gets Marshtomp in on Thunderbolt to polish off Ampharos. Lantern needed to be at full HP here, but this is why I brought my Dugong as a spare battery pack. Watson's next 3 are Lantern's big Volt Absorb matchups. You deal damage with Lantern, pivot into Gyarados to bait free heals into Volt Absorb, rinse and repeat. If Gyarados gets too low, Dugong can pick up pivot duty. Raichu and Electabuzz both get the special sauce, but Watson's last Pokemon comes in a slightly different flavor. Notice the first move Manectric uses on Lantern is Thunderbolt. Shouldn't the Volt Absorb read from Electabuzz carry over? There's actually an Emerald bug with Intimidate that wipes the AI's knowledge of your ability, so it has to trigger Volt Absorb again to read it. After getting Volt Absorb back online, I can just slam Bubble Beams now, pivoting through my HP batteries as needed. Lantern puts the big dog down, and the great wall that is the early game of Emerald Kaizo has been shattered.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead.
Flannery Split is brutally long, featuring some of the toughest and most iconic fights like Maxie and Flannery. Most runners will tell you that if you can beat Flannery, you officially have yourself a run. That's the carrot on the stick to keep me pushing. The first big destination is Fall Arbor Town, and it ends up being mostly a cakewalk to get there. I can just blast through on autopilot. They also added Red in this hack. Canonically, he's still in Kanto, saving the world from Team Rocket. So we'll pretend he's on vacation. He's guarding the final stretch before Fall Arbor, and his Kanto starters are fully evolved. On paper, his team looks stacked, but honestly, his Espeon is the only notable threat, and he's just a quick vibe check before I continue on my warpath. Arriving in Fall Arbor Town unlocks Evolution Stones, so Blossom and Cloyster join the squad. The move relearner's here too, so we can start considering some really powerful options for the cost of 1 heart skill each. You've also probably noticed I haven't evolved Marshtomp yet. I was delaying for Mirror Coat, which isn't necessary, but it can come in clutch. Big Swampert finally comes online. For my Fall Arbor encounter, I wanted an Aeron badly, since Aggron's normal resistibility eats up all the explosions throughout the game. Fate hands me a Sudowoodo. Hilariously, it came with a cracked nature instead of IVs. This guy would actually be a very important role player in the very near future. Route 114 features a gauntlet of 7 Magma Grunts, and we get the first real taste of how demonic Team Magma can be, with their cheap, underhanded tactics using Quick Claws, Bright Powders, and Focus Bands. Also, exploding Pokemon and Wobbuffets with Shadow Tag. Oftentimes, you just can't route these RNG nightmare fights to be riskless, so you just gotta take these kids to Ball Hard University. We get out of there riskless, deathless, boomless, and hit up Meteor Falls. I decide to take no encounter here, delaying it for better options later on. The Mount Chimney Summit has 2 magma grunts who make the previous gauntlet guys look like saints. It's the same bag of nasty tricks, but dialed up to 10. They're still just grunts for a reason though, and they get handled accordingly. Enter Tabitha. Remember how Pokemon with Explosion won't go boom if they're the last standing? I sat on this prep for an absurd amount of time. Trying to bait the booming wheezing out last is a nightmare, and most boxes can't do it safely. So I've been on my Ash Ketchum vibes, keeping my Pikachu around, even with access to Thunderstones. I was trying my best to delay for Volt Tackle, but try as I did to avoid busting out the Raichu, I needed it as an opener to craft a safe route that baits wheezing last. My shiny new Raichu just fries Dodrio, bringing out Quick Claw Aggron. Big Swampert dodges the silly and kills with Muddy Water. Now Arcanine is out going for Hidden Power Grass. Torkoal tanks it along with a Wild Charge and claps back with Earthquake. Gyarados needs to get the kill to keep the pathing proper. A pivot through Raichu makes it happen so Gyarados can finish the job and bait Flygon. Cloyster easily tanks Rock Slide and is never dead to Giga Drain, picking up a clean kill on Tabitha's heaviest hitter. Manectric is just an easy clap for Swampert. Wheezing is now the last standing. Success. Tentacruel walls Big Ugly and bodies it with Muddy Waters. On to the summit finale. Maxi's lead is a Registeel. Yeah, this seems pretty messed up this early on, right? This is also our first intro to Houndoom and Dusclops. Both of these guys are buffed to pseudo-legendary levels, and they're used in the game as boss Pokemon. This fight is tough, but common encounters like Golem, Tentacruel, and Crawdaunt can run consistently safe lines. While Registeel's scary on paper, it also folds like paper to Golem, who doesn't fear Explosion. This always sets up a safe Houndoom matchup as well. Tentacruel tanks Hidden Power Grass easily, but a Crunch crit is almost always certain death. What the dog doing? If you ask Tentacruel, it's taking a dirt nap here. So far, this is a textbook Maxi fight. Claydol won't go boom here since Earthquake and Psychic can both kill, so it's a pretty safe switch to Gyarados. My first Waterfall flinches, and Claydol only gets off a Psychic before dying. No Explosion is huge, as losing Gyarados is a massive blow to any run. Alakazam's too scary to face head-on, so I switch Lantern on Thunder Punches and Crawdaunt on the Psychics. Rinse and repeat until it's out of PP for both moves. PP stalling will be a very common strategy for more difficult threats later on. And trust me when I say we'll be using this a lot. Crawdaunt can now easily eat a Fire Punch and kill with X Scissors. Scissors. Yeah, side note. Due to the character limit, some of the added moves have changed names, but why did they add the S? It doesn't need to be there. It's Scissor. Now enter the new and improved Dusclops. Crawdaddy gets a clutch defense drop off rip, which means I get to go brain off mode and tear through the Juggernaut with crunches. Crobat is last in line, and it's light work for Torkoal and friends after a few pivots. Now that Mount Chimney is cleared, there's still a few grunts loitering around the Jagged Pass. These guys are just jokes compared to the previous grunts though. Now the encounter table here has some really nice holographic pulls, but the encounter rates are rock bottom for those. I don't have my hopes up for anything special. The encounter ends up being much more interesting than all the trainer battles here.
Ooh. So I don't know if this really helps for Flannery, but Jagged Pass Doduo is the only way you can get Rage Doduo. Rage Dodrio is potentially insane.
At just a 5% encounter rate, this is a very interesting little guy. A cracked Dodreezy can make the cut for an Elite Four squad if it hits the attack and speed benchmarks. However, my bird is cooked, and it just doesn't have the sauce for the elusive Elite Four appearance.
This doesn't seem very good. 1 speed, 5 attack. I don't know about this one, Chief. I have a feeling this ain't it.
We've touched down in Flannery's stomping grounds. One more encounter remains. Lava Ridge Grass lands me a Magby. Emerald Kaizo runners have given this duck the glorious title of Shitmar.
I always heard, why is this? I never understood why is Magby so hard to catch?
Not the most helpful guy for Flannery, and we're gonna need all the help we can get. Get your SPF 100 sunscreen out because we're going to the beach. Actually, no, it's just Flannery's gym. And for some reason, there's permanent sunny day inside for every single fight. Before you get any ideas, no, you don't get access to your own weather or the Cloud9 ability to remove it. There's zero way to turn off the sun. Deal with it. Tons of Pokemon in here also have Solar Beam, which has some really strange AI quirks. When Sinister Hooded Figure cooked for this gym, they went full Hell's Kitchen mode. You will have a terrible time, and you're gonna love it. Let's talk Solar Beam AI. If the AI sees no kills and Solar Beam is the second highest damaging move, there's a 50% chance they use it. If Solar Beam is the highest damage but it doesn't kill, the same rule applies with a chance to use the second highest rolling move. Every trainer in this gym feels like a mini-boss. There's also a 3-trainer gauntlet with no team changing between fights. And to cap it all off, there's the infamous gatekeeper expert Keegan. The old man is one of the scariest fights in the entire game. Keegan's Victory Bell in particular has become a bit of an Emerald Kaizo legend with its Giga Speed from Chlorophyll, 100% accurate gunk shots, 1-turn solar beams, and deadly type coverage. If you weren't lucky enough to get a Trace Gardevoir or Shell Armor Torkoal, have fun steering for your life and dodging all the crits. Flannery is the ultimate test of your bond with your Pokemon. What better way to demonstrate my undying friendship and trust in my comrades than offer them as blood sacrifices to Flannery? A standard cook here is going to involve planned deaths. Greeting for a deathless route isn't realistic for all but the most cracked of boxes. It's Shitmar's time to shine as the opening act. To start, we chip Ninetales enough for Sharpedo to clean up. This baits Charizard to get rocked by Ancient Power. Sharpedo actually gets the 1 in 10 Omni boost, but sadly, this doesn't open up any new routes from the original strategy. Sharpedo chunks Arcanine and gets sacrificed to bring in the big wood. This is Sudowoodo's first and final dance. And those dance moves from the squirt bottle aren't just for show. In a valiant effort, Sudowoodo kills Arcanine. Typhlosion is an explosive offensive presence with big moves like Wild Charge, Earthquake, and Solar Beam. Sudowoodo, you won't be forgotten, buddy. And now, it's turtle time. Typhlosion lets a massive sun-boosted Heat Wave rip as Torkoal holds and busts out the fireworks. Now, Rapidash holding a soft sand can 1v1 Blaziken with drill runs to bring us to the grand finale. I could greed for Rapidash's life here, but to keep the risk low, the pony has to die to keep tempo for Tentacruel. Don't sleep on this cast form, because in Emerald Kaizo, this Mon is buffed to 100 base speed and 100 special attack. Accounting for Solar Beam AI, it can either Solar Beam or Thunderbolt here. If Thunderbolt crits, it's over for me. My run's done.
Okay, so if this crits, dude, I live most crits. Like, a crit has a 37% chance to kill me. So, like, this can also Solar Beam AI. If it Solar Beams, will Mirror Coat always kill this? Let's see. So, Solar Beam min rolls 35. So, it'll always do at least 70. 70 health on this is 55%. Okay, so Mirror Coat always kills. All right. Solar Beam AIs. This should always kill. That should be GG's, baby. Let's go! Dude, we officially have a run. Our box is really good.
As payment for all my sacrifices, Castform ints with a Solar Beam and gets Mirror Coated for a victory over Flannery. 5 deaths seems like a lot, but quality matters, and a handful of low-value resources is a very fair trade to beat Flannery. With a 4th badge in my possession, this is officially a run. Part 3, The Man Who Sold the World. The Norman split is pretty short, with just a few encounters and nothing else but Petalburg Gym. With the fresh 2020 Go-Go Goggles vision, I can go to the desert and spawn the Mirage Tower. The top floor is the prize for getting past Flannery, because you always get a guaranteed bag on. Regardless of natures, IVs, any of that, even a bottom-of-the-barrel Salamence is run-changing. Unsurprisingly, you get virtually no access to stat-boosting moves in this game. But Salamence, however, gets a special, relatively niche move, Rage. Each time you're damaged by an attacking move, you get a +1 attack boost. You still don't get many chances to abuse this, but there are some big sweeps you can pull off with high enough speed. Still riding the dopamine rush of beating Flannery, I was not ready for what was gonna happen next. I pull a hasty nature bag on with 29 speed IVs. The mythical Mach Speed Salamence of Legends Past had come out to bless Attempt 62.
Okay, let's see. So attack and Spatic are a little, but it has the speed. It's really, really fast.
If this guy makes it through the endgame, this could be my golden goose for the scariest late game fights. Before leaving Mirage Tower, I also pick up a Claw Fossil and revive it in Rustboro. Armaldo is a formidable physical tank with excellent typing and the battle armor ability. After just a handful of fights in Petalburg Gym, it's time to face Dad. Norman left for cigarettes a decade ago and never came back for his son. I'm pulling up to his gym to teach this guy a lesson in fatherhood. If you've played your cards right, you should have the tools to turn Norman into Stormin. Let's first look at Snorlax's set. Notice that the only attacking move is Snore, which requires it to be asleep. If we can get Snorlax out early, the rest of the fight becomes a 2v1 for me. We're gonna abuse what's known as Phase 2 bait AI. When the AI is deciding who to send in after you get a kill, they'll look for the worst type matchup with a super effective move. If the AI can't find this, they'll go into Phase 2. This means they'll send in the first Pokemon with a move matching the type of the Pokemon you just beat. This means killing Espeon while having out 2 Pokemon that aren't hit super effectively by any of Norman's roster baits Snorlax, since Rest is a psychic move. Let's see if I can create this situation.
I feel pretty good about this plan. Okay, Espeon's always skill swapping. Swampert is pre-damaged, so that Slacking should always fire off a Hyper Beam here, and we've accounted for the Intimidate. So Gyarados is going to strengthen Espeon. This guy's going to go into Golem to eat the Hyper Beam. There's a skill swap. Perfect, we don't get crit. Okay, Gyarados is gonna stay. So next turn, Espeon now has Truant because it's skill swapped. It's gonna loaf and do nothing. Slacking has to recharge. We're killing Espeon here. Golem's going back to Swampert because that's gonna always bait Snorlax. Once Snorlax is out, we just ignore it and start working on the right side. Loaf, recharge, perfect. Because of our typing, we always get Snorlax here. Phase 2 baiting, looking for a psychic move in the back. Snorlax has Rest. There's our edges coming into play we just talked about. Perfect.
Sleepy Guy hits the field, and I smell blood in the water. The Snorlax has about as much of a presence as Norman did as a father, so the rest of this fight is a literal 2v1 for my guys. I simply double into the other slot and clean up Snorlax at the very end. 5 badges are mine. Who's your daddy now, Norman? After the smooth win over Norman, I claim my long-delayed Route 111 encounter and pulled the Trapinch I was hoping for. Flygon's one of my strongest threats in the crazy tough Magma Hideout section later on. More importantly though, it's finally time to evolve the soon-to-be MVP of the run that you probably forgot about. Machamp is here, and he hungers for battle. Many souls will be claimed to quench this insatiable bloodlust. To cap off the new pickups, I also hatch a Wynot egg that I got from Lava Ridge. Wobbuffet's another key player in this game, and can often fit nicely into Elite Four teams. Route 119 is long, but mostly a breeze to clear. Your encounter here is typically between fishing for Feebas or taking the Castform gift from the Weather Institute. I always went for the Castform in previous attempts, but let's be real, I can't have a nutsack in my Hall of Fame screenshot for Twitter. I decided to spice it up this time and go fishing for Feebas instead of the haha silly little balls. All there's left to do here is take on Team Aqua and the Weather Institute. As with the Team Magma Gauntlet from earlier, Bright Powders and Focus Bands run amok here. Nothing too scary though. I get the Shelly without too much trouble. Her thick fat Dragonite can be a pain to break through, and her Lapras even more so with its incredible bulk and coverage. My brand new Machamp happens to be one of the few options in the entire game that can just outspeed and one-shot this Lapras. Shelly gets handled without much trouble. Right as I leave the Institute, I get jumped by my rival at the bridge. This fight takes place in permanent rain, but for a Kaizo game rival fight, I made it look kind of free. My box had the perfect matchups. Swift Swim Swampert shatters Raichu with Earthquake, Mach Speed Mence cuts Sceptile down with Air Slash, Guts boosted Machamp tears Clefable apart, Swampert gets another frag on Nidoqueen, and finally, Swift Swim Kingdra bodies the Big Croc. Touching down in Fortree means a few new encounters before the gym. The Fortree grass gives me the big banana monster Tropius, who honestly is kind of trash. Believe it or not though, Tropius would actually go on to become a new run mascot later on. For now though, it makes the perfect box warmer. I make a quick backtrack to New Mauville and pick up an Ampharos. Route 120 though is where things get really interesting. This grass has some really nice options, but I end up with the incredibly underwhelming Absol. To make matters worse, this has a garbage catch rate with a recoil move to kill itself with.
I guess Golem next. I think this thing might kill itself before I get it. Hate to say it. I also probably die to superpower crit here. I mean, I don't know what else I can really do, man. I think I just gotta throw ball. Nah, it's all timer balls. No great ball. It's always timer ball here. Ooh, I'm definitely dead to crit, right? I think this just dies now. Dude, come on! Are you kidding me? That's so stupid, man. That is actually like so stupid.
Yeah, that's -1 encounter and +1 death over such a mid encounter. And this feels terrible. Life has a funny way of balancing the scales though, and I encountered the rare Charmeleon and Scorched Slab. Like Flygon, Charizard is one of the champions of any Magma Hideout box. My big lizard ends up having a cracked nature and amazing IVs. Finally, knowing I want a fossil to pivot on Winona, I detour my long-delayed Meteor Falls and fish up an Ammonite. Winona's gym is tough, of course, but there's two standout demons that are infamous names amongst the community. Ninja Boy Eduardo's Quick Claw Explosion Fortress can set you up for a really bad time against all the bright powder guys in the back. Dragon Tamer Sora is essentially a mini-boss, not unlike Expert Keegan back in Lava Ridge Gym. His Flygon stops many challengers in their tracks before even seeing Winona. Winona is a double battle featuring all three of the Kanto legendary birds. While there are tried and true strategies with certain Pokemon, this fight offers so many ways to crack the puzzle if you're creative enough. Double battles of this caliber require infinite mental and patience in the team builder, but I can't stress just how much I enjoy the skill expression that this battle offers. This cook takes forever, but the idea is pretty simple. Keep Armaldo safe, use Ancient Power, pivot, use Ancient Power again, and then do it all over again. Flygon needs to be baited late as possible, due to Earthquake's spread being too chaotic. The support comp includes a strong pivot core like Blossom and Amistar that can draw attacks from both slots and bait resisted moves into the other. The goal is to line up a 2v1 endgame versus Flygon, since spread Earthquakes are too hard to manage with the legends still alive. To start the party right, my pre-damage Blossom baits Hidden Power Flying and Sky Attack into Kabutops, while Armaldo Ancient Powers Aerodactyl for first blood. Moltres is next, and Kabutops baits Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Grass into Blossom. In the same turn, Armaldo chips Zapdos with Rock Tomb. I don't want it dead just yet to make sure Armaldo's partner is baiting Articuno. Blossom then baits Hidden Power Flying and Overheat into Amistar, and Armaldo Ancient Power Zapdos to finish it. Both birds then HP Grass into Blossom as Armaldo wrecks Moltres. Now, it's Armaldo and Blossom matched against Articuno and Crobat. Flygon's the last one standing in the back. Exactly as planned. Blossom goes into Kabutops on Ice Shard and Brave Bird. Surprise, surprise, Armaldo lets another Ancient Power rip into Articuno. Sadly, not a single Omni Boost for me. From here though, we just burst down Crobat to get the 2v1 endgame on Flygon. Armaldo Rock Tombs to give Cloyster a fast kill with Ice Beam, a very clean, deathless Winona. This gives me a huge tailwind as I move into the longest and most difficult split of the game. There's now a very long stretch from Route 120 to Lily Cove with tons of fights. None of them are really that bad, it's just a lot of fights. Hot off of a dominating victory over Winona, my hubris has me flying a little too close to the sun, and Cool Trainer Jerome catches me getting sloppy.
So Hard Machamp should be able to get crit, take burn damage, take recoil damage, take another burn damage, and live with like 4 or 5 HP, and then bait like a random out of Gengar. If Ice Beam doesn't crit, then I don't have to think about all that. So just don't crit. Wait! Oh, dude, you're right. I didn't. No.
I forgot to pre-burn my Guts Machamp, and I get frozen while switching into Jerome's Cloyster. Having only good Pokemon in my party, there's no clear choice on who I have to risk. Typically, it'd be Machamp, but we know this Machamp isn't like the others. It's a little different. I decide to steer with Gyarados, relying on 30% Waterfall flinch chances as my out.
Like, 10% chance the boom right now, right? If I bounce, 30% chance the flinch with Waterfall. So like my chance at an out with Waterfall, I guess is just better. Yeah, the flinch percent is better.
Yeah, boy.
Dude, that is so stupid, man. I cannot believe I didn't save after burning.
It just isn't meant to be, and Cloyster booms the Sea Serpent, taking out the iconic Nuzlocke staple. I get through it with Beefcake and everyone else still alive though, and that's my copium as I lick my wounds and continue on. Fast forward to Route 121, and it's time for a potentially potent encounter. Execute would nicely round out the core of Magma Hideout Slayers I've been collecting.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so mad. I knew it was going to be this stupid thing. The Ampharos doesn't even have Thunder Wave either.
Oh yeah, baby, it's back! Since my last Absol on Route 120 killed itself through recoil, this is sadly my encounter yet again. I do actually catch it this time, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little discouraged right after the Cool Trainer Jerome disaster. I ascend Mount Pyre with good chances for ghost types, which are another staple for Magma Hideout, to deal with the rampant explosion users. The L's just keep on rolling, and an unspectacular Vulpix joins the party. This would be my first time going into the hideout ghostless, but having Flygon and Charizard gives me some hope. I catch a Jumpluff from the Lily Cove City grass, and I chef up some Pokeblocks for the Safari Zone. The ever so rare Scyther shows itself, and I barely clutch out the catch with just a few balls to spare. Scythers with at least 28 speed IVs on a neutral nature can go to the Elite Four, peaking at claiming 3 souls on Drake. This Scyther doesn't hit the mark though, so I go with Caesar since my box could use its first Steel type. If Magma Hideout is the main course, then Mount Pyre is a light appetizer. There's 10 Aqua Grunts, with Grunts 5, 6, and 7 being a triple back-to-back. Admin Matt at the summit has risky AI, so his Quick Claw Wailord is very likely to use Explosion off rip. Oh, and Wailord is absurdly buffed in EK. It's a literally mini Kyogre, stats-wise. This fight has spawned the patented Bounce House strategy, where you bounce turn 1 with Gyarados and hope Wailord booms while you're airborne. Cool Trainer Jerome made sure my Gyarados hit the reverse Bounce House 6 feet deep into the ground, so I can't cheese this lead. Instead, I throw Seeking at it as a blood sacrifice.
Okay, so Wailord blowing up is very likely here. It's very, very likely. Wailord's very slow, so everything outspeeds it. There it is. Okay. That was the plan. That was the plan. Seeking, you did great. Good job, buddy.
The rest of the fight is tough, but mostly manageable, and Big Matt gets packed up with only a Seeking to his name. Chef Matt's first course was tasty, but it's time for dinner and cocktails.
This match will get red hot. Now go!
Welcome to the hardest part of Emerald Kaizo outside of the final challenge. The Magma Hideout is where hopes and dreams go to die. This literal hellscape is no place for unseasoned runners, and it's a rite of passage to make it out alive. The death count will go up without a doubt, as even the most cracked boxes can get eviscerated in the blink of an eye. Permanent Sun is up for the whole section, along with Chlorophyll, Solar Beam, and Weather Ball users running rampant around every corner. The RNG hacks items like Bright Powders, Quick Claws, Focus Bands are turned up to 1,000. This is the ultimate test of risk and resource management.
Ooh, Bright Powder. He doesn't see a kill here. I am still only dead to crit. Let's see. Do I have something better than dodging a crit? Not really. We just fire in here. Yeah, we're just going to dodge it. It's easy. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, this just got really bad. I'm also dead to crit here. I don't really have a better answer to this. So if I can find a way to get Armaldo in, I can use Charizard for Glalie. That's why we brought it. I think I pivot Tenta into Tenta into Armaldo, I guess. I think I can kill through a burn with AP. Yeah, I still kill it. Okay, that's fine. We're already outsped. It's gonna click Heat Wave anyways. All right. Shoot. Good luck, I guess. This is clean if we don't get Bright Powdered here. Dude, are you kidding me?
Pretty much every team here has at least one Pokemon that can blow up, and many of the Explosion users have Choice Bands for extra sauce.
Okay, this can only blow up. This literally is just Choice Band Explosion. So Armaldo, you got this.
You'll also encounter some strange AI patterns similar to Aqua Admin Matt's risky AI.
Okay, this just blows up. Battle Armor Kabutops.
You'll have to do your homework to be ready for all the pop quizzes. So, what can we do about all this? Some of the best answers you can bring are your own Chlorophyll users like Exeggutor or Victreebel, physical walls like Aggron, or ghosts like Gengar for the explosions, fire types like Charizard and Arcanine to abuse the sun, and the undisputed Magma Hideout GOAT that does it all, Flygon, or as I like to call it, Fly God. So while I didn't get a ghost from Mount Pyre, I'm pulling up to Club Magma with Flygon and Charizard, ready to tear up the dance floor. Making strategic sacrifices to gain tempo and optimal routes are very common here, but I make it to the big bosses at the end with just one death.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm always dead to Solar Beam, right? Yep, so I lose the Quick Claw. So 20% chance for this thing to Quick Claw me and kill me. All right, good luck, buddy. Oh, so unlucky. That sucks, dude. I actually got Quick Clawed.
One loss up to this point means I'm on fire. No, literally, my skin is melting in here. Please help me. After spending hours upon hours of theory crafting and battling 16 grunts across 3 live streams, I made it to the penultimate boss fight. Magma Admin Tabitha guards the ritual chamber with a horrifically powerful team, built around Regirock as the enforcer. Out the gates, my Flygon outspeeds and Oko's Charizard with Rock Slide. Flygon deletes Cast Form with Earthquake before switching out. Salamence Draco Meteors into my Scizor pivot, and Tentacle slays the dragon with Ice Beam. Notice, Tentacle was pre-damaged before switching into Flamethrower. This guaranteed that Regirock would always bait Earthquake. Regirock seeing a kill confirm means Machamp never switches into an explosion. On paper, the hulking Golem is Tabitha's scariest threat.
Okay, everyone shits on Machamp in this game. I'm going to show y'all why I need to put a little respect on its name. See you, Regirock. Don't talk about the GOAT like that. That's my guy.
Yeah. Next, Armaldo is on assist duty for the Kangaskhan matchup to slow it down and deal a bit of damage. Scizor can then come in to finish Kangaskhan and bait a Weather Ball from the incoming Chlorophyll Venusaur. My plan was almost flawless up to this point, but I knew it was time to take necessary risks.
Okay. We're dead to Ancient Power crit. Chlorophyll Venu is definitely faster. We got a Lum for Sleep Powder. Show me Sleep Powder. Boost is bad. Crit is bad. It's all bad. Oh, God, it boosted. Okay, I'm pretty sure this doesn't die now. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. I probably got to go Flygon now.
I didn't think Venusaur would actually land the 1 in 10 Omni boost. I got to throw on the driving gloves now. My best bet is to switch out to Flygon into the next Ancient Power and try to 1v1. It all comes down to this turn. If Venusaur Omni boosts again or hits a Sleep Powder, it's over.
Come on, hold. Okay, let's see how that roll was. As long as that wasn't a max roll, I'm only dead to crit, but we're going to find out what that looked like. Okay, we're only dead to Solar Beam crit. 186 is the highest it can do. Okay, so it can Sleep Powder. I'm pretty sure I went Lum. Okay, show me Sleep Powder, please. Am I dead to crit? No? Okay, great. Why did it Weather Ball? I don't get it.
If Solar Beam is the highest damage but it doesn't kill, the same roll applies with a chance to use the second highest rolling move.
Solar Beam AI. Yeah, huge. I actually forgot about the Solar Beam AI possibility of Weather Ball there.
The Team Magma Royal Guard are dealt with, and the big boss man is waiting in the back. All of this because I didn't want to pay some whack cover fee to get into Club Magma. The drinks aren't even that good here. On to the last dance. This will be one of Machamp's most important jobs of the entire attempt. With the power of God and anime on my side, Guts boosted Machamp shatters Maxi's Tyranitar lead through its Intimidate drop. Now, for the nightmare field that is Chlorophyll Exeggutor. The average run never has a 100% safe answer to this monster. Absol pivots through Psychic to bait Solar Beam into my own, even faster Chlorophyll user. Banan, the Tropius. It'll take 2 air slashes to take down Exeggutor, and we're dead if Hidden Power Fire crits me.
All right, buddy. Come on, Clutch God Banan. I believe in you. Big hold. Come on, Banan. Let's go. Perfect.
Big Banan gets the job done, earning my eternal gratitude and sealing its place as an emote in my Twitch channel. Maxi's Flygon lets a Fire Blast rip in an attempt to revenge kill, but Tentacruel answers back with Ice Speed. The incoming Gengar can Psychic or Thunderbolt here, and that Ninetales I picked up from Mount Pyre has the special bulk to hold and double tap with extra sensory. Maxi's ace, Daddy Entei, hits the field. And to make Flygon's job as smooth as possible, I sacrifice Ninetales for tempo. The lose condition is a Sacred Fire crit into an extreme speed.
All right, Ninetales, nicely done. You did your job. It's a little different than I envisioned it, but I think we're okay. Okay, he didn't see the overlapping roll there. If we get crit by Sacred Fire, it can see extreme speed, so we're not out of the woods yet.
God, bro. Oh, hell no.
If the AI sees no kills and Solar Beam is the
Solar Beam AI grants me a gift and Entei throws with a puny Solar Beam as I Earthquake. Flygon can safely clean up now to bring out Maxi's final Pokemon. Flygon doesn't quite kill Arcanine, and it can't take a Hidden Power Ice. I have to bring in Tentacruel to get some chip damage with Muddy Water and find a way to get Flygon back in. The issue here is that Arcanine sees too many overlapping moves, and most will knock Flygon into kill range of extreme speed. I have to make the game time decision to sacrifice another beloved friend to make the sequence work.
That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if Banan can hold here. Can Banan possibly kill this? That's Earthquake. Let's go Banan first. Worst case, this is a sack. I hate to say it. But at least it goes out in a blaze of glory. if it dies. It's not guaranteed to die. I still believe Banan clutches up. It clutches up still. We're not dead to ESP. This is HP Ice now. Do I have a better pivot now? So 50-50 HP Ice and Heat Wave. I don't want to kill this thing, man. I'm guessing Machamp would die to some kind of crit. Yeah, like I think the optimal play is the stay and Air Slash. Like for the health of the run, losing Tropius isn't a terrible thing. This is probably what I got to do, yeah. Absol will have use later. It's not gonna hold, it's too frail, and we got Tate and Liza Gym coming up. All right, good luck, buddy. Oh, Banana, I'm so sorry. That's Maxi 2, folks.
In poetic fashion, Flygon, the hero of the Magma Hideout, avenges Banan and lets one final earthquake echo throughout the ritual chamber. The Magma Hideout saga is over. The death counter inches up slightly, but we're looking really solid for the upcoming splits. Throw on your swimsuit because it's time to cool off that sunburn and dive into Aqua Hideout. This is another difficult section, but coming after Magma Hideout makes it feel much tamer. This feels like light work up until Matt, but this attempt I've got something special for the big guy. Remember the Dodrio that's been warming the box since way back in the Jagged Pass? We might get the rare chance in this game to set up a sweep if I can pull off a very specific sequence. The key to prepping the sweep is all about abusing the choice band on Tauros. Kabutops, as a lead, baits Glalie and always baits Tauros for Earthquake. Since Tauros is holding that choice band, it's locked in. Now I can pivot between Salamence and Dodrio until it runs out of Earthquake PP and starts struggling from the choice lock. Dodrio can now spam Rage as Tauros feeds it attack boosts with each hit of struggle. Once Dodrio's at +4 attack, the real fun begins. Okay, that's enough of these hideouts for me. Mayhaps we can take a little breather and put on our fishing hats. Box is starting to feel a bit thin, so it's time for a much needed refill before we enter the late game. After the most brutal stretch of the mid game, Fishing Simulator is a breath of fresh air to chill out for a minute and pick up tons of great encounters. The routing order depends greatly on your dupes, and the pathing order needs to be optimized to maximize chances at a Slowpoke. Shell Armor Slowbro is an almost required Elite Four bring, but Slowpoke's ability is 50-50 to be Oblivious or Own Tempo. We need Oblivious Slowpoke to get Shell Armor Slowbro, so I use Swagger to test each wild Slowpoke's ability since we know Own Tempo doesn't allow confusion. I hit the lottery and found one on my first try. The rest of my fishing expedition looks something like this. It's time to get ready for the next gym. Tate and Liza's gym is exclusively double battles and they're all brain busters. Each fight is a unique puzzle with a niche gimmick that requires precision strategies to solve. It wasn't uncommon for me to spend 1 hour or more prepping each fight. Buckham is an awkwardly painful fight to crack, with 3 bulk up Pokemon and 3 Calm Mind Pokemon. There's also a fight built around Parasong and Shadow Tag users. While the Parasong fights look scary on paper, you just need to know how to count to 3 and you're fine. Nobody's ever lost a Pokemon to this fight. I mean, I would never be the first person to do that, right? Right?
Did he just sleep talk Parasong? Is that what just happened? Let's see.
Tate and Liza lead with Latias and Latios, and they have a Jirachi in the back. At this point, are you even surprised? The legendary spam is only going to ramp up. Nonetheless, this is a fast and explosive fight that usually lasts just a few turns if played right. This deep into the game, we can start evaluating the value of each Pokemon as we march into the finale. Strategic sacrifices are only going to keep ramping up. Latios sees a kill on my Cloyster, while Latias doesn't see any kills on either slot. Dugong fake outs Latias while Cloyster safely tanks Mistball. And now, here comes the fireworks. Gengar in the back is holding an EXP share to get a level up after the Lottie twins go down. This is crucial as Gengar must outspeed Misdreavus for the next sequence. I send out Gengar and Misdreavus, always baiting out Medicham and Gardevoir. We have to say one final goodbye to my favorite Pokemon, as Gengar drags them both down to hell. Raichu takes Gengar's place, and we're looking at a Jirachi and Starmie endgame. Due to Gen 3 doubles mechanics, Misdreavus still gets an attack off, chunking Starmie with the Shadow Ball as it switches in. Now, Raichu outspeeds Starmie and finishes it off as I switch Misdreavus into Charizard. The Blaze ability is required here for Charizard to OHKO Jirachi, so I have it pre-damage. Jirachi can Ancient Power into Raichu here, and it does just that. The Omni Boost chance is raised to 20% due to Serene Grace, and if this boosts, my run is in huge trouble. We clutch these, and Charizard is ready to fire in. Okay, now... Wait, what? He should still be in Blaze. He's not. No, this isn't over. This is actually like, this is bad. Fear turns to relief as I realize Raichu and Charizard just outspeed and double into Jirachi for a sure kill. Something about hindsight being 20/20, right? There's just one more empty slot remaining in my badge case. Let's head next door to the Space Center to stop Team Magma one more time. Maxi's rounded up Team Magma for one last rodeo. They're trying to steal some rocket fuel and blow up Mount Chimney or something. Team Magma and Aqua have the dumbest villain stories in the series, let's be honest. Anyways, it's time for tag battle versus Maxi and Tabitha. We're paired with our brilliant artificial intelligence partner, Steven Stone. I'm leading Starmie with Slowbro and Wailord in the back. It's time to do what the gamers call hitting the pumpy. This classic strategy involves rolling the dice with Hydro Pump accuracy. This sounds very unlike the calculated, low-risk plays one fight per live stream Mox you've come to love. I assure you the payoff is just too big to pass up, and it's still mathematically safer than most alternatives. All right, easy turn one. Okay, Zard. All right, here we go. As they always say, if I miss this Hydro Pump, I wipe. Let's go. Ah. Meanwhile, Tauros is still spamming Earthquake as Aerodactyl is helping me so much to secure the dub. Finally, Salamence gets Ice Beamed as Tauros finishes off Starmie. A pretty low impact death for a 3-piece combo is quite the deal in my eyes. Now, Steven and I have a clean 2v1 angle for the rest of the fight to sweep the remaining Tauros, Flygon, and Metagross. Team Magma's done for real this time, and I can go claim a few encounters before I ride some waves over to Satopolis City. I catch a Blastoise on Route 133 and a Cradily in the underwater. In Satopolis, there's just one little square of grass, and I get to snag a potential Elite Four Amigo, Lotad. My future Ludicolo ends up with solid IVs and the Swift Swim ability. This one's definitely worth sweating over, keeping alive until the end. Just one more villain arc. We take to the abysmal depths to find Team Aqua's final answer to Magma Hideout, the Sea Floor Cavern.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Permanent Rain and Swift Swim users go crazy in these forsaken caverns below the tides. Get ready to solve complex and infuriating slippery ice slide puzzles, surf puzzles in the dark, and strength rock puzzles. With just 5 grunts and 2 boss fights, compared to almost triple that in Magma Hideout, the battles don't seem too bad on paper. You also get more tools to work with in comparison, but you still don't want to get caught slipping up. Our little deep sea excursion starts off swimmingly, and the first few fights go smoothly for me, until Grunt 4. Since Wailord has Kyogre-esque stats, a one-hit KO is typically not happening. My beautiful Guts Machamp pulls off history and one-shots with superpower for a clean start. Next, I plan to pivot Misdreavus into Slacking's Double Edge, then get Mantine in on a Truant Loaf turn. Slacking finds the 1 out of 16 overlapping Surf Roll, and Missy takes a rain-boosted Surf. Still, we stick to the script, and Mantine clocks in for her shift. The Slacking has an odd special attacking set with Surf and Thunder to pair up with the Rain. Let's just say the Sloth hasn't been very kind to some of our fellow professional Nuzlockers.
So it loafs, I die, but then it attacks and I hit. Alright.
I, however, did my homework during prep, and I had a perfect plan that she's slacking. Since Mantine's always dead to Thunder, I could use Dive with no worries of ever seeing a Surf. Mantine safely pops up to chip away Slacking on the Loaf turns. Rinse and repeat until Big Guy goes down. We had our dessert first, so now for the vegetables. Ampharos thunders in the Flygon for a free switch, then I come to a disturbing realization. I forgot to equip Soft Sand on Flygon, so Earthquake is now just an 81% chance to kill Ampharos. If Flygon takes any damage, the Quillfish in the back becomes a big threat. Ampharos lives and claps back with Hidden Power Water. This is the worst timeline, but the scary part is yet to come. After getting through Tentacruel and Glalie as planned, it's time for the Young Demon. Since Quillfish is last, it can't blow up. But what I'm worried about is the scope lens it's holding. The original plan was for fully healthy Flygon to come in on Sludge Bomb, never risk a Surf Crit, and just kill with Earthquake. The steer ends up as a desperate cycle through my whole team, whittling Quillfish down until I can attempt a kill with Misdreavus.
I'm so stressed about it surfing my Misdreavus, dude. I think I'm gonna lose something this fight.
Yeah, we firing. Okay, come on, hold. No scope lens crits. Misdreavus going down means Flygon now has to dodge a crit or the run is over. Fly God delivers once again, but losing Missy means I have no more ghosts. But I should be able to hold out just long enough to fix that problem if I can make it out. Shelly is guarding the passage to the summoning chamber. My Swift Swim Ludicolo one-taps Amistar with Magical Leaf, baiting out Exeggutor. Salamence baits an Egg Bomb and kills with Air Slash. Guts boosted Machamp switches into Blissey's Ice Beam and cleaves through its immense HP with Brick Break. Politoed comes out, and Ludicolo makes a return to easily wall and 1v1. Gengar thunders into my Salamence pivot to Relicanth. Swift Swim allows Old Fishy to outspeed and kill with a fatty head smash. Now for a nice Kingdra versus Kingdra mirror match. Shelly's Kingdra starts dragon dancing, but it just doesn't have the coverage to box with mine. 2 Dragon Breaths later, and we're pulling up to the final villain boss fight of the entire game. In preparation, I catch a Muck, which we'll need for Archie. The Team Aqua boss awaits me in the summoning chamber. Not unlike Tate and Liza, Archie is a complex double battle requiring pinpoint precise pre-damage and baiting setups. Suicune and Raikou meet us at the door, and the permanent rain is pounding down. This is Baby's first battle for Muck, and sadly also the last. Muck gets 1 turn for the whole run, but it's a big turn. Amistar baits Thunder and Hidden Power Grass from Raikou and Suicune respectively. Amistar targets Suicune and dives to safety, moving first with Swift Swim. Muck has the floor to take the legendary beast to the Boom Boom Room. Suicune hangs on by a thread, which is calculated. Relicanth takes Muck's slot, scoring a fast Swift Swim kill on Dragonite with a Head Smash. Amistar pops out a dive and finishes off Suicune. Quillfish and Metagross enter the field, and I double swap into Ludicolo and Slowbro. Metagross is a pretty passive guy and loves to spam Protect, so I focus on bursting down Quillfish. We're now in the planned Kingdra Metagross endgame. The goal is to keep pivoting to bait safe moves into a slot so I can burst Kingdra, then finally 2v1 Metagross. Kingdra hitting multiple yawns is a massive lose condition. During the pivots, Slowbro gets slept once, then again for the dreaded long nap. And it just keeps sleeping, and sleeping, and sleeping.
Now I am become sleepy. A goer to bed. J.
Slowbro slacking.
Oppenheimer, father of the PJs, after drinking warm milk.
The run is flashing before my eyes. This is really, really bad. Slowbro's chance to clutch up in the club has passed. Amistar dodges Octazooka crit and mudshots Kingdra to slow it down. Amistar gets some damage off and rides one last wave into the sunset. I pivot around to get Ludicolo out and line up a fake out. Finally, idiot Metagross hits Earthquake, killing its partner. It's finally over. Team Aqua is done. The sky is falling onto Hoenn and the world is ending, but all I can think about is my prize. I rush over to the Cave of Origin and catch my Duskull, another essentially required member of any Elite Four lineup. My Gardevoir also has a perfect nature to try and synchronize onto a Duskull. Of course, though, I miss the sync. And to throw a little salt in the wound, the Duskull's nature and IVs are hot garbage. It's still a future Dusclops though, and that's enough for me. I have one more stop to make before I can gain entry to Victory Road. The 8th and final gym features permanent rain for every single battle, just like the Permasun in Flannery's gym. Riding the lightning for my clutch Archie win, I run through all the gym trainers without a single death before the final gym leader matches. Yes, that's right. I said matches, plural. There's 2 gym leaders in the final gym. 1 single battle followed by a double battle. Similar to how we dealt with Watson, Lantern is the star of the show here, with Volt Absorb lines forming the cornerstone of the strategy. With a few Pokemon serving as batteries for Lantern, we'll be enabling the Anglerfish to go crazy. Wallace leads with a Draco Meteor spamming Kingdra, and Slowbro just mashes Slack off to stay healthy as Kingdra recoils itself to death. In comes Castform to feed a Thunder to Lantern's voracious appetite. We just use Lantern to Thunderbolt Castform down, pivoting into Mantine on HP Grass as needed to stay healthy. Castform goes down, baiting out Ludicolo. I switch into Tentacruel as Ludicolo whiffs the Grass Whistle. Tentacruel Sludge Bombs Pineapple Guy down for a comfortable matchup. Swift Swim Swampert is up next, and this monster is the scariest guy here. My Ludicolo swaps into Earthquake, and now the run hinges on this next turn. Swampert can either yawn or Ancient Power. Ludicolo needs 2 turns to kill, and is dead to Ancient Power crit. Even if it lives a non-crit, the 10% Omni boost means a 10% chance for my run to die right here. Okay, Magical Leaf number 1. This doesn't kill unless it crits. Swampert can do a lot here. It is most likely an Ancient Power. There's a decent amount of overlapping Earthquake rolls, so we obviously prefer Earthquake. Best case scenario, it yawns, we lum it off, we're good. So please show me yawn. Please show me yawn. Give me a crit or show me a yawn. I'll take either. Oh, I thought that was a crit. Let's go, baby. Oh, let's go. Woo-hoo! It's too easy. The rest of this fight is just cleanup. Wallace's Lapras gets packed up by the same Lantern hit and run pivot strats I used for Cast Form. Baiting Milotic is Wallace's final line of defense. Lantern Thunderbolts Milotic, then Thunder Waves to burn the Lumberry. Now I switch into my own Milo, pre-burnt to play around Hypnosis. We just set up Toxic and spam Recover until Wallace's Milo loses the Battle of Attrition. Satopolis Gym Leader 1 packed up, and we move right into Juan. As with the last few late game boss doubles, you're being treated to another fireworks show. Juan leaves with Lapras and Kingdra. Since my Quillfish isn't Swift Swim, I need to buy a turn to keep Quillfish safe to blow up. Jumpluff baits Kingdra's Ice Beam into Kabutops as Quillfish explodes, killing both of the Yops. Wailord comes in on my other slot as Juan sends out Lantern and Cast Form. We're drawing attacks onto my other slot again, but this time our partner's going down with the ship. Cast Form thunders Kabutops for a kill as Jumpluff takes its place. Lantern's Hidden Power Grass goes into Jumpluff, and Wailord presses the nuclear launch button. The field is empty, and the real battle begins. Juan's final two are Vaporeon and Ludicolo. My dance partners are Ludicolo and Tentacruel. Vaporeon can sing or attack either slot, and if it hits multiple stings through my Lumberries, I just lose. I fake out Juan's Ludicolo as Vaporeon Ice Beams my Ludi. Tentacruel takes the free turn to Sludge Bomb Ludicolo. So this turn, we want Vaporeon to sing something. That would be really good. We don't get the crit. We never killed there without a crit. Okay, Ludi is faster than both of us, I believe. This is where things get scary. But again, so we're going to double into the Ludi. This turn is really scary. Okay, huge pump miss. Let's go. I think we can die to some crits. Okay, we definitely can. Oh my god. Okay, I don't think we're dead to any crits, actually. This is still really scary, though. We can lose Tenta. I think we're okay, though. I don't think we wipe now. From here, I can safely just keep doubling into Vaporeon until it's dead. That's GG's, baby. Woo-hoo! That's every badge in Emerald Kaizo, dude. Let's go. Feels good. That feels really, really, really good. This is the run, baby. We've got all the most important E4 Mons alive, too. We still have some encounters, too. You're now looking at the proud new owner of all 8 Hoenn Gym badges. We're going to the Elite Four. It's time to start thinking about my Elite Four squad. Also, several encounters are left before the final push through Victory Road. Magma Hideout and Sky Pillar catches can be a bit spooky, so I had delayed those until a later level cap. We pick up Typhlosion in the Hideout and grab a Banette from Sky Pillar. From there, we've unlocked 3 final encounter locations. Evergrande City Grass gives me a Trico, which could go to the Elite Four, but mine falls short on the stats. At the Victory Road entrance, I get a Mr. Mime, which isn't particularly notable. The final encounter left is Route 123. There's high odds to pick up strong normal types like Tauros, Kangaskhan, or Slacking. A normal type is extremely needed for some important pivot sequences in the Elite Four. 123 is guarded by tons of double battles, but at the level 100 cap, I'm able to strong arm through most of them pretty quickly. A Slacking or Kangaskhan would drastically increase my odds of winning the game at this point. Yo, let's go. We got the Mankind, baby. This is exactly what I needed. The pieces are now in place, and I just need to make it through the final stretch. Victory Road itself is filled with strong trainers who've also proven their worth. All the fights are definitely tough, but there's nothing we can't handle. At this point, I've more or less figured out who makes the cut for the final Elite Four roster. To keep these fights riskless as possible, I can start sacrificing anything that doesn't have Elite Four value. The trek through Victory Road wasn't about the battles for me. It was more so the perfect chance to reflect on the run and remember the Pokemon that made it possible to get this far. We've made it to the endgame.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent.
After 6 months of grinding, the big day had finally come. It all comes down to this. I had a surprising amount of Pokemon that were contenders for the team, but it chose the best of the best. My final team in Emerald Kaizo would be Salamence, Slowbro, Dusclops, Ludicolo, Relicanth, and Slacking. Each member has a specific role to play, and they each bring unique traits to the table. Note that Slacking is pre-poisoned going in. This is to have a boosted facade online for a very specific threat on Drake's team. Slacking must remain poisoned for everything up to that point. Let's begin. Trying to 1v1 most of Sydney's team opens the door for way too much risk, so here's the plan. Sableye is another absurdly buffed boss-only Pokemon like Dusclops, but on steroids. This is reason number 1 why Slowbro is almost mandatory for this Elite Four. The line is to Intimidate with Salamence and sit on Sableye with Slowbro. I can spam Slack off to stay healthy and use Recycle to keep restoring my Lepiberry and stay topped off on PP. Anytime Shadow Ball gets a defense drop, I can just switch to Slacking, lock it in with Encore, and also use Slack off to mitigate the poison damage. Rinse and repeat until Sableye starts struggling. Now the fight actually starts. Once Sableye is almost dead, I Thunder Wave to safely bring in Dusclops to finish and bait Jolteon. Dusclops lands a timely Earthquake crit Oko, baiting out Machamp. This guy gets the Slowbro PP stall special after a Salamence Intimidate pivot and a Thunder Wave for safety. Slacking encores the HP Ghosts before we fully set up shop with Slowbro until I can keep my health topped off and kill Machamp. Tauros comes in next for a double edge into Dusclops. I pivot Relicanth into Hidden Power Ghost, then Salamence into Earthquake for an Intimidate. We run this 3-way pivot cycle until Tauros is at -6 attack. Yeah, you guessed it, another long PP stall. This time though, once Tauros starts struggling, I bring in Salamence to farm those rage boosts until it's fully juiced up. It's over at this point. The Salamence now just outspeeds and sweeps Alakazam and Houndoom. I wasn't exaggerating when I was gassing up this very special Salamence. First member down. I'm so sorry, but we have to do some more full PP stalls. I promise the whole Elite Four isn't like this, but at this threat level, it's my safest play. Lumberry Dusclops leads the charge, killing off the Hypnosis and killing Gengar with Shadow Ball and the Shadow Sneak. Phoebe's Dusclops is baited to get the same PP stall treatment we served up to Sydney. Slacking soaks Shadow Balls, Salamence on Brick Breaks, and Slowbro comes in once it's safe to wall Dusclops until it struggles. During this sequence, Dusclops will have double teamed to maximum evasion, so I taught Salamence Aerial Ace to finish it after Slowbro's job is done. Ludicolo comes out next just to die to a single Air Slash from Mence. Now we have to also PP stall Crobat, but this one is not so free. Hypnosis, Air Slash flinches, and Heat Wave burns serve up a cocktail of RNG nightmare fuel. Way too risky to fight head on. Relicanth comes in on Air Slash and Hypnosis while Salamence soaks Hidden Power Grounds to set up 6 attack drops. Slowbro's now ready to go, and she immediately gets burnt, which is massive, as Hypnosis can put a full stop on the stall. I'm now immune to it. This is looking really clean. Slept, just Air Slash flinches are kind of bad. Once this guy starts struggling, we go Mence, we set up, and GG's. Okay, let's get one in. Nice. Looks like we got flinched there. Oh god. Okay, this is scary if we get flinched again here. No way I get flinched 3 times in a row, right? Oh my god. Oh my god. We're gonna have to go back to Mence Rally. It's fine, it's fine. We don't need bro for the rest of the fight. 3 flinches in a row. It's okay, it's okay. I'm starting to panic as Crobat starts clicking random moves. I have to hit the kitchen to cook an impromptu emergency line before this gets out of control. Relicanth and Dusclops all have to pivot around to finish off Crobat's remaining PV. I feel that cool relief when the struggle text finally hits my screen. It's now safe to bring Salamence back out to set up a 5-pack of Rage attack boosts. Crobat goes down the Rock Slide. Gardevoir gets diced up by Air Slash. Sableye gets cut down to size by 1 final Air Slash. Aside from the Crobat steer, I'm feeling really good. And that's why they call her Freebie. Now the Elite Four really begins. This is the point where many promising Elite Fours can fall apart and fizzle out. We're fighting Glacia in permanent rainy weather, and you can't get rid of it. Glalie can set up spikes, it can go boom, and on top of that, it has Intimidate with buffed stats. You only get 1 white herb in the entire game, all the way back on Route 113. I saved it for this exact moment. This fight is the main reason Relicanth got a roster spot. The white herb nullifies Intimidate, and Swift Swim lets it outspeed an Oko Glalie with Head Smash. Regice is baited next, and this spectacular Relicanth had just enough attack to always one-tap with another Head Smash. Dugong will be the final full drawn-out PP stall of the Elite Four, I promise you. Slowbro slacks off through Dugong's hidden power grass hits, using flash when possible. The accuracy drops are helpful to create openings, to recycle, and set up safeguards to play around Ice Beam freeze risk. I have to take it very slow here as I'm keeping a tight count on multiple fronts. Missing my counts by even 1 turn or 1 PP ruins my plan entirely. This sequence repeats until Dugong struggles itself to death and Glacia sends out Lapras. Salamence pivots through Thunder to bait Ice Shard into slacking to Encore. This forces Lapras into Ice Shard for 2 to 6 turns, opening up the safest line for my Ludicolo. The Encore cycle buys me 4 turns, allowing Ludicolo to Giga Drain Lapras down to win the matchup at full health. Now for the biggest problem. Wailord is baited, with Swampert still in the back. Since Wailord isn't last, there's a small but very real chance for self-destruct. I need to get Slowbro in, but it dies the Sum Rolls of Boom, since it isn't at full HP. Wailord is very likely to use Amnesia here, so I go for the read and pivot through Salamence for an Intimidate to pad the possible self-destruct. Alright, I'm going for it. This is most likely Amnesia. It's pretty unlucky if it Hyper Voices. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Slowbro comes in on another Amnesia. Now, Wailord Water Spouts over and over until it runs dry. If that small boom chance happens, the attack drop keeps Slowbro safe anyways. Wailord does burn through all 8 of its Water Spouts. Self-destruct is now guaranteed, and it's a free switch in the Dusclops. Swift Swim Swampert is the last demon and the main reason Ludicolo came to my Elite Four. Muddy Water accuracy drops, Ancient Power Omni Boost, and Yawn Sleep Cheese are all hard lose conditions. So this is Yawn or Muddy Water. It doesn't see a kill with Muddy Water. So Yawn would be most likely here. We do have Lum on Ludi. I don't think I have any pivots in the Muddy Water. We go Ludi. Yawn is most likely. All right, show me the Yawn. Come on, baby. Just yawn me. What is this, 30% act drop, right? That's Glacia. We win. Fake out into Giga Drain. Oh, let's go. Deathless Glacia. We're going to Drake, baby. This is my chance to fulfill the prophecy of the legendary Salamence full rage sweep. And only my once-in-a-generation Mach Speed Mens can do it. But Drake won't let me have it so easily. Drake's Latios lead has almost no riskless answers. The standard is to use Mirror Coat Wobbuffet or Milotic and pray you don't get crit. I have the secret weapon to make this matchup free. Riskless. Slagging made it through the whole Elite Four poison, and I get to click a massive boosted facade for the sure kill. The rest of the fight is a risky but explosive plan to set up Mach Speed Mens for the sweep. The sheer intensity in gaming that's coming next can't be done justice in a narrated format, so we're switching over to the live feed. It's been a pleasure, comrades. I'll see you on the other side. All right, this is always Draco. Ludi dodging crits gives us a lot of opportunities for some sauce here. All right, Ludi, we dodge here, baby. If we don't, it's fine. We just don't get to do the sauce. Okay, nice. All right, safety. Let's see if we get that beautiful Switch AI moment. Let's see if we get it. Does Ludi get another one here? Okay, he dodges. I don't think it's quite enough. Yeah, I think we're always dead. Yeah, because it shouldn't switch AI if it sees a kill on me, yeah? We click Ice Beam either way. It doesn't matter. I just want to see for my own curiosity. Can it still switch? We always hit Ice Beam regardless. I mean, switching to Mens would be huge. Unlucky, man. So that's an extra rage boost we have to get on Salamence, unfortunately. Okay, we go slacking and kill this and bait T-Tar. I think this is the scariest part of my E4 here, coming up now. This is where the content is born. He has 8 Ancient Powers. We have to stall him out of all of them. This is Dragon Dance or Ancient Power. So we go Rally first. Every Ancient Power has a 10% chance to boost all of Tyranitar stats +1. Okay, he dances. This baits Earthquake in the Mens. Okay, so T-Tar is now going to be at neutral. He could dance here. Okay, he Earthquakes, good. This can be dance or AP. Back in the Rally. Yeah, like 1 boost, maybe even 2. Not the end of the world. Any more than that, it gets kind of bad. Okay, that's AP number 1. Okay, doesn't crit. That's huge. That's really good. Back to Mens now. Now he's -1. He has 2 Dragon Dances left. We've got Clops and Slacking to help out as well. Okay, he's back to neutral. Rally needs to hold super tight for the rest of this. Okay, that's 2 Ancient Powers. Hold it tight. Nice. Rally again.
Okay, that's 3 ancient powers. That's bad. That's probably 2, maybe even 3 more APs we could have stalled. Okay, we go Mence again and bait 1 into slacking. Okay, so let's get the -2. 5 left. Let's make sure slacking isn't dead to crit. I don't think he is. Klops can take a couple. Bro can take a couple. We got it to -2, so Bro can take this like decently well. So we're like okay. Like Relly dying there is, it sucks, but we're still like pretty okay. Let's do 1 on slacking. I believe slacking just baits out another AP. Okay, that's 4 APs. Halfway there, 4 more to go. Yeah, let's go Klops. Okay, that's 5, 3 more to go. No boosters yet. He got 1 crit, no boosts. Beautiful. Let's just sneak. We don't want to get too much damage on this thing. Okay, that's 6, 2 more. So we can go for another. Okay, Ancient Power 7 coming in. No boosts yet. Just 1 crit. Okay, 1 more Ancient Power. It has 1 killing roll here. So I think we just go Bro now. And then Bro will bait out Hidden Power Bug into Mence, which is perfect. Okay, that should be 8. The reason I want to stall with HP Bugs over Struggles, because Struggle does do more damage here. Give me an Earthquake, baby. And now it's at -3. And then we got to start raging. All right, we need plus, let me see. We need +5 because we're going to get intimidated by Mence. I believe +4 gives us Okos on everything. So here's why crits are scary here. Because if I start getting crit, it knocks me into Dragonite Extreme Speed range. Once Dragonite sees a kill with E-Speed, it always goes for it, and then I probably wipe. It's probably over if that happens. We do have our Healing Berry. We have this thing at -3. We're in a really good position. We just need a little bit of luck. All right, here we go. We're dodging crits now. Okay, we don't have any boosts yet. That's 1. We just need 4, and then we kill this. That's 2. That's 3. Okay, beautiful. I think we can even get crit here. We're fine. 1 more. We do have to eat 1 more HP Bug after this. Okay. Dude, that's 4. Okay. We are officially not in E-Speed range. That's okay, though. We should be good now. It should be a Drake sweep. This Mence, like I said, you do not see Mences this fast very often. Mences that can kill all the way through the Latios, super rare. Yeah, the legendary Rage Mence, dude. These are once in a generation. No E-Speed for you, buddy. Air Slash. We're going to the champion, baby. Okay, so my Klops has terrible attack. Mewtwo is going to be very, very scary to deal with. Just 1 more. Just a little bit more. And slacking no longer needs to be poisoned. This is why I do Nuzlocks. This feeling right here, when you're so close to beating that challenge you've been working on for so long. Oh, this is why I do this. And I'm very lucky and privileged to have you all wanting to follow along on this journey. All right, this is it. That's right. That's right. Get those pastas in, baby. All right, let's bring it home. I'm fortunate to bear witness to these events unfolding. You overcame all difficult situations by working as one with your Pokemon. What did you see in your journey with Pokemon? What did you feel meeting so many other trainers like you? What has awoken in you? I want you to hit me with it all. The time has come. Which one will triumph as champion? Let this glorious battle begin. Last battle of EK. Let's go. Okay, we flamethrower turn 1. Give me a crit. Crit, high roll. I'll take anything I can get. Okay, there's the agility. It's very likely to blow up, but I cannot risk taking damage on Klops. We probably say goodbye to Mence here. Meteor Mash would be great, though. Okay. Just don't crit me? Wait, that's huge. If we live this, that is huge. Oh! Hold up. That is so big. This just got real interesting. Okay, we air slash this. We're faster. Dude, if we get a flinch, we just kill this. And then Klops' job gets way easier. Give me a flinch, come on. That's okay. Okay. I don't know if Shadow Sneak kills. It should. We should be able to Shadow Sneak this and get Mewtwo out. My Shadow Sneak does 41 to 49%. I think it's going to be a range. My slacking does not outspeed this either. It's going to be tight. Oh, this looks like we're Gucci. I think we're fine. All right, Klops, send him home, baby. Come on. You got it. Let's go. Really good odds of success there. Okay, this is make or break. This is where the low attack comes in. Shadow Ball drop is massive here. Okay. We're dodging drops, crits, all of it. Oh, let's go. No drop, no crit. Come on, just a little bit more. We get some Shell Bell healing. No defense drop. Sneak to get a little more healing. Crit would be huge here. Come on, dodge, baby. Nice. Okay, we kill this. Dude, we're so close. Okay, Deoxys comes in next. Sneak always kills. Deoxys is frail as paper, dude. We always kill. Okay. See ya. Okay. Here comes the demon. So, we have a couple choices. I can EQ for damage. I'm probably dead. I'm just dead to crit, I think. I could also Shadow Sneak for some chip. I think we go for the EQ, though. And then we go slacking, chip it as much as we can, and then probably finish with bro. Okay. Nice. No flinches. We live crit. He gets the boost. Oh, God. He's at +1. So I'm at 129. I am dead to... Of course I'm dead to crit. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls. So it has a 25% chance to kill me if it doesn't crit if I EQ. I think I should just Shadow Sneak here. We Shadow Sneak. It can also just extrasensory. Okay, if I don't get crit here, I can get another sneak in. Come on, Clops. Come on, buddy. Okay, it's at +2. That looked like a pretty dang good roll there. Clops. Sayonara, buddy. Oh my God, it's at +3. If slacking doesn't kill, I think I just die. Slacking's faster, though, I think. I'm pretty sure it's faster. Slacking's faster. Okay. All right, slacking. Hit this shit, baby. Come on. We're doing it. It's just Aerodactyl. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is it. I don't think there's any way we lose. We just fire in. Bro is in the back, fully healthy. All we have to do is surf now. It's gonna come down to the last mon though. We're gonna say bye to slacking and let bro finish. Okay, and then there was one. Slacking, Clops, Ments, Ludi, Relicanth. Surf's up, baby. Slow bro. One last time for the road, buddy. That's it. We beat Emerald Kaizo! Yes! It's over! Dude! Emerald Kaizo Hardcore Nuzlocke in the books. You love to see it, folks. 6 months, 62 attempts. What a way to close out 2022. Like, when I first got into Nuzlocking, you know, I heard those rumblings of this Emerald Kaizo game. I didn't know about it yet. And as I saw people, like, playing it, I remember watching Jan beat it. I was just like, dude, there's no way I can ever beat that game. That's too hard. But I just kept, you know, beating slightly and slightly harder games, working my way up. First, it was Renegade Platinum, and then it was Blaze Black 2. Then we took on Inkleman Emerald, and then Radical Red. We played Vintage White a little bit. I still have a bone to pick with that. And then I decided, you know what? Let's beat Blaze Black 2 Redux, and let's try Emerald Kaizo once and for all. Hall of Fame. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I put the headband on and did one of these. Woo! Mox Speed Ments. The big, calm, slow bro. Slow, but just fast enough slacking. Clops with the 2 attack. He did his best. He held strong. Big Ludi making Glacia a lot cleaner, and Relicanth. Relicanth just kind of did a little bit everywhere. Relicanth helped with PP stalls. It was a great backup option in like all the fights. Incredible lead on Glacia. Oh man, y'all, I think I'm gonna call it there. So I am going to my buddy's wedding this weekend, so I won't be around. But make sure you follow the, join the Discord. If you want to catch me every time I'm live on Twitch, consider following. It's free to do so. And of course, the big one, the YouTube. Make sure you sub to the YouTube. I'm gonna be a lot more active on there soon. But seriously, I love y'all. As always, you are the best. Seriously, this community is incredible. Hope y'all have a safe, healthy weekend. Get your weekend started right. Happy Friday, everybody. Catch you in the next one, and we'll have to see what the next difficult challenge is next time.
You, look, you're wasting your time. And believe me, you don't have a whole lot left to waste.